Thank you for joining the Oaklandside's first anniversary celebration. My name is Ashley McBride, and I cover education equity for the Oaklandside. Over the past year, I've had the opportunity to connect with youth activists across Oakland advocating for justice in their communities. Last year, in the midst of a national reckoning on race and policing in the US, the Oakland Unified School District Board of Education voted to eliminate the district police department. In the fall, Oakland voters approved Measure QQ, which will allow 16 and 17-year-olds to cast their votes for local school board members. Oakland youth were instrumental in getting both of these things accomplished, and today I'll be chatting with two of them, Denilson Garibo and Malia Liao. We'll spend a little time talking about each of these campaigns and then about youth activism in Oakland overall. So to start, Denilson, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the campaign to eliminate the police department?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Denilson Garibo. And the way I got involved into eliminating school police was mainly freshman year. Taking back to my freshman year, I remember a lot of deaths happening at the time with Black and brown youth around my age. And I sort of realized that, I didn't want me going down that path, and I didn't want other youth that looked like me going down that path. And that is what I used for motivation, and got more involved into organizing. I started getting involved with OC Council Student Union and started organizing with them, went to the board meetings, and just realized that as I went to the meetings with all these youth, I noticed that my story is not unique, The more I got involved into leadership and organizing, the more I heard different stories from students all across Oakland and all across different schools. And that's when I realized the issues we were facing we are still facing are systemic, and realize the power that the youth have when we come together to change, those realities. So that's how I got into organizing, and that's what shifted the cutting ties with Oakland School Police.
Thank you. Okay, Malia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the youth vote movement?
Hi, everyone. My name is Malia Liao. I'm 18 and I'm a senior at Oakland Tech. I'm also a youth organizer with Oakland Kids First. And because I grew up in Oakland, which is like the center of so many revolutionary movements, I really got a lot of inspiration from that. And so the passion to really give power to youth stemmed from that. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get involved with the youth vote specifically?
So basically, we realized that speaking in front of elected officials could only achieve so much like institutional change for us, and that we needed a more concrete and solid platform for underrepresented students to voice their needs and concerns for themselves and their families.
Okay, and Denilson, the Black Organizing Project led the campaign for about 10 years to disband the Oakland School Police Department, and it finally happened last year. But it wasn't easy or straightforward, and there was at least one meeting when you and the other student director, Mika Smithdahl, walked out in frustration. Can you talk about what you were feeling in that moment?
Just like you said, there was a lot of frustration, it was very overwhelming at the time, just because, many community members, many youth all around the district were advocating to eliminate school police and expressing our concerns because we felt threatened with them being on our campus. And just sitting at the board, having a seat at the table wants us to feel heard and listened to, and by them just ignoring our concerns made us feel just pushed to the side. So it was very frustrating. But in the end, we used that frustration as motivation to keep on going and to continue to organize, and add on the pressure that we kept doing. Add on the pressure to these board members that they are sitting on that board to represent the 36,000 students and to listen to us, to to give us the education we need. So in the end, with the amazing and support of the Black Organizing Project, because all the work that they did, it wouldn't have been possible without their work for sure. They did such great work with all Oakland youth, and that's why we made it possible to eliminate school police. So in the end, we just needed to keep on going.
Okay. And Malia, were there ever any barriers that you all ran into getting adults on board with the idea of youth voting?
There weren't any major barriers because Oakland was so open to recognize student voice and student power. This community really stood with its youth during that whole campaign, and I was so grateful to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Denilson, can you talk a little bit about how you overcome frustrations with adults when it feels like they're not hearing you or they're dismissing your perspective because of your age?
To be honest, there's been many occasions where it's like a space filled with adults, and sometimes as youth we just gotta strategize. We gotta strategize on how to make them listen to us, and that's what comes with organizing. I feel like there's gonna be times where you feel pushed to the side, where you feel like you're not being heard, but that's exactly what you want to continue to advocate for them to hear you and to listen to you. And that comes with a lot of resilience and determination. Luckily for me, I had very amazing team with All City Council Student Union and all these other youth and other organizations who we were able to, after a meeting with like all these adults, we were able to debrief after, like, what can we do next? What can we do better next time? So yeah.
Okay. Malia, do you have anything to add to that question?
I think it's just that when we come across adults like that or opposition against us just because of our age, it's all the more reason to keep going, just to prove ourselves like that we're capable and we are very intelligent and can work towards change for a better community for everyone.
And Malia, where do things stand now with implementing the youth vote?
So we're actually working on implementation now. We've been working out all the logistics around voter engagement, candidate forums, and we've been working with the city to successfully and equitably implement this for students.
Okay. Denilson, going back to last year, back in March, there was an opportunity for the school board to lay off just a couple of the police officers, and that did not get approved. And then a few months later, there was unanimous support of the resolution to disband the police department. What do you think was the tipping point?
It was most definitely the tipping point was the murder of George Floyd. With all the organizing that the community did with Black Lives Matter and all of that, it sort of added more of that pressure that Oakland youth and the Black organizing were pushing forward to eliminate school police. And that was for surely what did it for them. All the concerns, all the stuff that we were telling them how we felt, they finally realized what we were telling them, how we felt, how we were feeling. So it was most definitely that. It was that, and we were able to continue to organize with the Black Organizing Project and protesting and all of that, and yeah, that it was most definitely that.
And have you kept up with where things stand with the implementation of the new safety plan?
I have had conversations with the current student director, Jessica Ramos, and right now they are trying to implement those millions of dollars onto a more restorative justice program, training our SSOs as mentors on campus. Um, so yeah, this summer I am also planning to go back to All City Council Student Union because I'm in college now. But this summer I'm planning to go back and catch up on all of that for sure.
Malia, do you all have plans to do like voter education campaigns so that once students have the opportunity to vote for school board members, they'll be informed about it?
Yeah, so the whole process of implementation really focuses on creating this platform for everybody. So like students have like access to voting, and that they're fully prepared and fully knowledgeable on how to make informed decisions that really will benefit themselves and their families.
All right, cool. So now we're going to move to questions that both or either of you could answer, and talking about youth activism in Oakland in general. So if youth or young people have ideas that they want to promote or campaigns that they want to get involved in, how do you recommend that they get started?
I feel like it most definitely starts in your own community, like in your own school. Try to get out there and get involved, see where you can help. I've had many students from other states DMing me, like asking how to help, asking how to get that initiative that they need to do to cut police from their district because they're facing the same issues that we in Oakland are facing. So it most definitely takes on the initiative is with you. The first step to create that change, it starts with you. And yeah, like a lot of things that we also need to consider is how adult allies play an important role in this movement. So try to see what teacher you can talk to help you with the support you need to start a student union in your school, or to continue to get into another organization that's part of the community that you might not know of. So yeah.
Malia, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just want to add that now in this age of like social media, it's very easy to see what other groups of students are also working on. And I think that if youth have ideas that they want to promote or a campaign that they want to get involved in, it's really, like Dennison said, it's really about taking that initiative and reaching out.
And I know that you both are involved or were involved in local youth organizations here in Oakland. Do you have any suggestions for other ones that students can get involved in?
Organizations in Oakland?
Yes.
You could go ahead, Malia. You know this.
Yeah. So, well, I'm from Oakland Kids First, and Denilson is from All City Council. Oakland and the Bay Area also has organizations like APAL, Californians for Justice, Bay Peace, OYAC, and Youth Together. And I think there are also many more, but those are the ones I can remember.
Okay. Cool. So what do you all think are the next areas or issues that will come up for students? What are you hearing and what are you talking about with your peers?
Currently for me, I've had conversations with Jessica Ramos, the student director, and there's a lot of concern surrounding mental health, with the pandemic and all the issues that it brought both mentally and physically to a lot of students in the district. I feel like mental health is a big concern for us, and currently I believe they passed a resolution to provide more mental health resources in the district. So it's a follow-up on that. And yeah, to secure the mental health for all of our students is most definitely one of the other movements that we're doing right now.
In my like personal community, a huge issue is like just safety in general with the amount of attacks on Asian Americans and Asians in general. There's a lot of conversation and fear happening in my family and also with my friends that I really want to help participate in those campaigns.
Okay. And Malia, you touched on this a bit earlier, but what is it about Oakland and the Bay Area that makes it so ripe for student activism?
I think it's just because Oakland and the Bay Area is such a welcoming community. We really value all of our people, no matter where you're from, what you look like. Yeah, and I think just that feeling of welcoming your differences goes a long way in allowing for student activism.
Denilson, do you want to add anything?
Yeah. I feel like just how Malia said, the Black Panthers were founded in Oakland. So just coming from a place of resilience and determination, we haven't thought that, we are the only ones who have the power and responsibility to fight for what we believe is right. There's a lot of trauma in our community, and some people might not see that trauma, but obviously we, as in the community, we feel it, and we use that trauma to continue to move forward and progress and heal from it as well. So yeah, we continue to fight for everyone in our community who is struggling through that trauma, and just standing in solidarity with all of the communities who are vulnerable to that.
Great. What impact has the pandemic had on the ability to organize and, get together with your peers?
Wait, can you repeat that question? Sorry.
Sure. So what impact has the pandemic had on youth organizing and the ability to get together with your peers? Have you had to try different strategies of getting your point across or different kinds of protests?
I feel like it was definitely taught us that the work needs to keep on going, because a step back, we cannot afford to have a step back, because that means starting from the beginning. So it was most definitely learning how to strategize. How can we use, like Malia said before, social media as our advantage, and continue to share the knowledge and all the organizing and everything that we were doing. We were able to use social media and stay connected with each other, use Zoom. And yeah, it was all of that.
Okay. Let's see. And so what advice do you all have for adults, adult allies, as you said, who want to work with youth to advance the issues that young people care about?
There's a saying in Oakland with Oakland youth that we say is, let us have a seat at the table, not at the menu. So that's exactly what we use for motivation, and for adults to listen to us. We want to have a seat at the table to be able to express our concerns, to have a say in all these decisions that our adults are making, that in the end are going to affect our education and our futures. So the advice that I would give to adults is mainly, how can you provide us that space that we need to express our concerns, so what you are doing wrong, and we are there to support and take on that, and take on the concerns that we are advocating for. So yeah, it's most definitely that.
Malia?
I think that the most important thing is just that we want to be listened to, right? To be able to be acknowledged and recognized for what we go through, and that there are some issues in our community that we should work on. And then moving forward from that, it's really just about working in partnership with youth and like Dennison said, giving us or creating a space for us to really voice our concerns.
Okay, those are all of my questions. Is there any closing remarks that either of you want to give reflecting on youth activism in Oakland over the past year or going into the future?
For me, it would be that, for like leadership to me is like the responsibility to lead and represent a group of people in order to make an impact in like our community. And, as a man of color, it is important for me that like others hear my story and what experience and what I have experienced to get here. So I just like hope that everyone who can or wants to share their story does the same, because, young people have the power to be leaders in their communities. Like everything that you need is on your hands. All you need is like to take initiative. And in the end, when you lead, people will follow. Like we can't underestimate the influence of small actions that can create a big impact in our communities. I believe that like small acts by multiple people can transform like the world and like our communities for the better. All it takes is dedication and like just not giving up.
That's great feedback. I think people of all ages could learn from that. What about you, Malia?
I think Denilson said it all. It was, yeah, I fully agree.
Okay, well, thank you both for joining me and being part of the Oaklandside Live-ish, and thank you to everyone watching for your support.